Hey everybody, this is Minion Soldier and this is the Piracy Show. Now today we got a very interesting video clip for you pirates out there. Take a look.
It was terrible and mean of me. All right, Ben, I have got a question for you. Your question, submitted by the backers and voted on by the backers, has to do with AI pilots. Now, we have seen combat AI in the Precision universe, but this person wants to know, what about non-combat AI? What are our plans for seeing ships flying along trade routes, maybe even responding to service beacon requests themselves?
All right, so the estimation for that is somewhere around 3.5, 3.6 of actually having like AI traders in the game, because we're focused right now on actually getting combat, more diversity into combat, because right now everyone behaves kind of the same and we want to have gunships behave differently to fighters, to other things. And we're also working on some groundwork for the AI actually travel diverse. So that means QT linking, having landing and takeoff in hangars and all these shenanigans. And if these groundwork are done, hopefully it will be not much additional work to get like actually having the AI picking up cargo and dropping it on the way. So you players have something to raid and loot, hopefully.
Gotcha. Now, players who...
Now, to a certain extent, we kind of have this a little bit already. If you shoot down a pirate caterpillar, of course, it drops its cargo, and the cargo, you can pick it up. At least, you know, I'd done a video back in 3.0 where I had shot down a pirate caterpillar over a planet and all the loot had fallen down onto the surface of the planet, and I was running around picking it all up and throwing it into my cutlass. And yeah, I mean, it was time consuming and labor intensive, but it was fun. But of course, that was, you know, it was linked to a bug, to a random event. I mean, while you're parked on the surface of a planet for a pirate caterpillar to spawn right on top of you and start attacking you is not exactly a common occurrence. I mean, I don't even know if that's happened to anybody else, and I only have, you know, the video to prove it. But now with NPCs, you know, moving around between different locations, that opens up the ability to really explore piracy, you know, at a fundamental level. How does it work? How does it function? What do we have to do to make it work, you know, economically for ourselves? But, you know, once again, we're talking about 3.5 and 3.6. So pretty much, if it does hit that date on the schedule, which is by no means guaranteed, but if it does hit that date on the schedule, then that's at least a year away from now. Now, of course, between now and then, there are plenty of things that kind of have to come into existence before we can actually go out and start snagging cargo. And that is one, interdiction. We need player-side interdiction. We need these systems. So, you know, we've talked about this a bunch of times. Apparently, the Buccaneer was going to play some role in interdiction. You know, there were ships described as interceptors that may have some type of interdiction capability, or the possibility of building that into the ship or adding that on through components, a lot of which could probably be, you know, kind of in a way, kind of like in a Russian nesting doll type of way within item 2.0 and what that enables. Beyond that, and beyond interdiction, functional tractor beams is another thing that we would need. I mean, can you imagine the nightmare of having to EVA cargo over and just kind of nudging it along with your body, just kind of trying to bump it into your cargo? I know I've done that on more than one occasion, like way back in 2.6.3 when I was trying to steal the Big Benny's machine and put it in my Caterpillar. But you know, all these things have to kind of come and fall into place before we can actually have, you know, raiding of these fleets. So that's a lot of stuff that between now and then we can expect to now see, that with them saying, okay, these, you know, these NPC haulers which you can raid, in order to be able to raid those, we need all these components that go along with it. So these are probably things that we're going to see coming online within the next year. These are things that we knew eventually we were going to get, but now with this goal set for 3.5 or 3.6, that means that between now and then, all these other parts, the foundations, if you will, are going to have to come along too. Now, the only piece of this puzzle that we've actually seen come into the roadmap is interdiction. Interdiction is supposed to arrive in 3.4, but it's going to be mission-based, so it's going to be within the closed parameters of a mission, and that's going to be the first iteration that we get to play around with. That, of course, slated for December, January 2018, 2019. So that's at least a year away. Personally, I'd like to have a little bit more time to play with it, but you know, that's what CIG is aiming for, and obviously that's going to be used to inform on the design of player-controlled interdiction within the larger universe, not just in the confines of a mission, at a later date, hopefully going along with these AI convoys. Another piece that we're going to have to see, obviously, is tractor beams, because many of these ships, if you've done any cargo runs, let's say on a Caterpillar or whatever large cargo ship, or even a Cutlass, you see the large crates that those ships carry. Those are obviously something that your character can't just pick up and walk away with, unless you're talking about a zero-G environment. And even then, you'd have to be like nudging it along, like in the old days, with your body and trying to get it to float into your cargo base. So probably not something that's going to work. So even though it's not on the roadmap, you got to figure that tractor beams have got to be in there as well. Even if we were to say, let's say it's 3.5 and player-based interdiction, we can raid these convoys. If we can't walk away with the cargo, then there would be really no point to it. If we were to change all the cargo on the ships to be all the little small crates that are you're able to pick up and walk away with, versus the very large crates that, you know, these large transports carry presently. Imagine having to generate all of those when a ship blows up, or just having to maintain all those variables within the confines of a ship. Being able to tractor beam something out of a ship's cargo hold would be a much more efficient way of doing it. So I mean, at least from what I see, from my opinion, tractor beams would have to go hand in hand with any type of, you know, large vessel raiding. In the end, though, we are going to have to wait at least a year. Now we have at least some vague inkling of a timeline to when we are going to be able to actually go out and start pirating. Of course, the pirating of other players is also going to require interdiction as well, so it's going to be a ways off. But I mean, at this point, realistically, we're still pouring the foundation for the house, so there's no point in trying to move the appliances and furniture in yet. We're not there yet, but hopefully once we get all the basic components of the game together, and that being all the game systems, whether it's modularity, mining, salvage, interdiction, piracy, getting all these things together and making them work, and then we will get to a point where we actually have something that is actually fun to play, and not so much just to explore what the new toys are and what the new things are and then to set it down and go back and play whatever you're playing, but something that we can actually sit down and put some real time and have some real fun with. You know, something akin to what we pledged so many years ago. Anyways, that's the show for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. So if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42's development, please follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.